wonder what is going on? Technology these days. Nothing. You want to do a stupid update in the middle of my damn live stream? Really? So we can do. Oh, we gotta put wall. Yeah. There we go. Wait till more get on here and we'll get back starting again. Start again. You ain't gonna stop me. I'm gonna continue to do my live stream. So, I love it. Because we're making America great again. And we're showing America the fucking truth these days. And they don't understand this shit.
Cases constantly. She opens investigations constantly. People constantly are biting at her heels, little chihuahuas, conservative online chihuahuas, biting at her heels. Let her do her job. She's doing her job very well, and you're going to see results. I'm sorry, you can't just tweet and have an indictment. That's just not how it works in the Justice Department. That may be how it works on Twitter, but that's not how it works in the real world.
Mike, would you please, since it made so much news and was the #1 clip on X and has been played nonstop all across the internet yesterday, could you please unpack for us this KKK law? And that shocked people. It spawned a lot of memes, and it made people say, "Wow, this is exactly what I voted for." Charging BLM with the KKK law. How would that work, Mike?
The only thing that would have been better is if they did it on MLK Day. But we couldn't get it done because the grand jury is not working on a federal holiday. Otherwise, that would have been the icing on the cake. Look, Democrats are very familiar with 18 U.S.C. Section 241, conspiracy against rights, the Klan statute, because that's the charge they brought against President Trump with Jack Smith in Washington, D.C., one of the 4 felony charges in Washington, D.C. against President Trump for the non-crime of objecting to a presidential election, which is allowed by the Electoral Count Act of 1887 and the First Amendment. Again, we've said this on your show for almost 4 years. This is why Hillary Clinton did not go to prison for objecting to President Trump's win the first time, right? Or Democrats didn't go to prison for objecting in 1968, 2000, and 2004. You don't see Al Gore and John Kerry in prison for objecting to George W. Bush's wins. And so this is the statutes that the Democrats actually used to go after President Trump for objecting to a presidential election. This is a post-Civil War statute to target people who are conspiring to violate the civil rights of the freed slaves and other Americans, right? And so if you are a governor, if you are a mayor, even if you are a private citizen like Don Lemon, and you're organizing agitators to go harass Christians in church or people because of their race, and Don Lemon did both of those things on Sunday, he's stupid enough to admit it on TV repeatedly, that is textbook conspiracy against rights. That's the whole point of conspiracy against rights, is so you don't have Klan members going, harassing, lynching, threatening people because of their religious beliefs or their race. That's exactly what Don Lemon did. And that's precisely why Don Lemon must be indicted by a federal grand jury. After the dumbass actually admitted to his crime repeatedly on TV, then Don Lemon needs to go to federal prison.
So, Mike, many would say, hey, to your last point, well, you're going to have some federal lib judge that's going to throw this out. You're going to get indictments, and then some liberal in Minneapolis appointed by Obama or Biden, Marxist, probably getting money from the Somali daycares, is just going to say no. How do you fight that?
Excuse me? You're reading wrong. Put these on. Show me your book. I'm going to take a picture of it. Now it's going to scan it and read it to you.
As I sit here with one foot on either side of the ledge, looking down from 12 stories.
And I can increase the speed.
I can't help but think about suicide. Not my own. I like my life enough to want to see it through. I'm more focused on
commercial,
And you can pick from hundreds of different voices, even celebrities like.
How do you fight that?
how do you insult these leering centers like you call them Somali daycares? These are the finest leering centers in America, Ben Johnson. How dare you?
You're quite the leerer yourself, Mike.
I would say this. Like, let's see. Well, first of all, they would appeal that to the Eighth Circuit and the Supreme Court. There's no chance that a liberal judge is going to be able to stop an indictment against Don Lemon for what he did. I mean, they'll temporarily try to stop it if they try to throw it out, but it will get appealed and this indictment will happen. But I want Don Lemon to go through this process. I want the process to be the punishment. And, you know, these journalists out there who are going to say that the Trump administration is now arresting journalists and now arresting black journalists and gay journalists or whatever the hell they're going to say, just watch the videos and just watch what Don Lemon said after he filmed the videos, after he knew that he could be under federal investigation, and then the dumbass goes on and admits his criminal liability repeatedly. It's a slam dunk case. If he would have just kept his mouth shut, he still committed a crime, but he probably would have gotten away with it. There's no chance he's going to get away with it now because he's too stupid to keep his mouth shut.
Okay, so final question for you, Mike, on this. What about the argument? I have a First Amendment right too. You saw Don Lemon say that to the pastor up front of the church, saying, well, I have a First Amendment right, and Jesus would be in favor of my First Amendment right because I also have freedom of speech and assembly, and that's why we can storm your church. He said it right here. That's why we can storm your church, and I can go up and threaten your parishioners. I can threaten your congregants. I can scare the hell out of these little kids. Don Lemon admitted that he is doing it in order to make them uncomfortable and terrorize the kids. That's what he said. I wanted to create trauma in the children. Don Lemon says it on his live stream, and he's using journalism and the First Amendment as a shield. Will that hold up in court?
Not at all. You do not have a First Amendment right to trespass. You do not have a First Amendment right to disrupt a church service. Those are crimes, and the latter is a serious federal crime, a series of serious federal crimes. It's a FACE Act violation under 18 U.S.C. Section 248, and it's conspiracy against rights under 18 U.S.C. Section 241. Church services are not public forums. This is not, a free speech zone in a public park where you can go debate other lunatics, homeless people, or whoever Don Lemon wants to go debate. This is a church service. Just imagine if Mike Davis went into a mosque and did what Don Lemon did, or Mike Davis with my MAGA hat went into a black church and did what Don Lemon did. There would be righteous outrage on the left. There should be outrage, right? But of course, there's not going to be outrage here because this is a gay, black, mentally disabled man going in. And so they don't care. They actually support it. So, look, again, Don Lemon's antics, criminal antics, may have flown in the last Trump administration when we had pussies running the Justice Department. That's not going to happen with Pam Bondi and Harmeet Dillon because they are bold and fearless warriors, and there will be justice. And I imagine it's going to happen this week.
Yeah, I mean, it just struck me when I was talking with Harmeet. There were a lot of people, some of them I consider friends, who tried to say, I was filming during January 6th, right? And I like, look, I'm a journalist, protect me. Steve Baker's a pretty famous one at the Blaze. And they came after him. They came after him with a vengeance. And I know it's not apples to apples. I'm well aware they're very different things. But that whole, the Biden administration was perfectly happy to bulldoze the whole, I'm an independent journalist thing, on January 6th.
Well, and here's where it's apples to apples. You look at Bevelyn Williams, a young black mother of young black kids who the Biden Justice Department sent to prison for 41 months for praying in an abortion clinic. They sent many elderly people in Washington, D.C. to federal prison for many years, including under the FACE Act and conspiracy against rights. I think they did the same thing in Michigan in the Biden Justice Department. They had no problem throwing elderly Christians in prison, a young black mother in prison. They had no problem going after journalists constantly if they were disfavored journalists. Here, Don Lemon, even if he were acting as a journalist, you can't trespass, you can't disrupt church services. Don Lemon went up to the pulpit and harassed and disrupted the pastor during the middle of the service. You can't get more of a FACE Act violation than that, other than maybe burning down the damn church.
There it is, right on your screen. Evelyn Williams, sentenced to 3 years and 5 months for praying outside of a Planned Parenthood in New York City. Yeah. Jeez. Look at that.
Yeah, Democrats didn't care about this black woman because it doesn't fit their narrative, because Democrats actually do not give a damn about race or gender or transgender. They're Marxist, and they want their foot soldiers. And if you have Marxist black women, those are perfect foot soldiers, and they'll go to the mat for them. But if it's a Christian conservative woman like Evelyn Williams, they'll throw her in prison for 41 months.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mike Davis, the man who, you know, we call him the Viceroy for months in the lead up to President Trump installing his team. And I think that Mike is actually the Viceroy. I think he just does it behind the scenes. It's not like he's out with like the feathery hats and the pomp and the circumstance. Behind the scenes.
We weren't controversial enough. We weren't controversial enough on this hit, Ben. We want to be more. Yes.
That's exactly right.
We need more controversy. Calling Jennifer Welch a dude is not going to make enough headlines. We're going to put the Viceroy out there. This is great.
This is it. Would just work, Mike. We just wanted an excuse to put up this AI. We know this is exactly what you change into the moment that you get off these hits.
Yes.
One day you can do the hit in your true form.
Yes.
We look forward to it. Embrace your true self, Mike Davis. Yeah, you can embrace Mike Davis by following him here. 500,000 followers Mike has on X. And you know him, ladies and gentlemen, the Viceroy.
Lifters, pay attention.
All right, folks, we are back, and they have taken the streets in Minneapolis. They have taken the streets of Minneapolis. A large group of people have taken the streets in Minneapolis. We're back. Chaos continues to erupt. Downtown Minneapolis in the dark and the cold after another shooting. Today, Border Patrol shooting. People are in the streets. We're back. Listen, we're back, folks. We're back, and they have taken the streets again. So we are back again. We're going to continue to monitor what's going on in Minneapolis. Chaos erupts. Absolutely chaos. They're literally screaming F ICE in the streets. So we're going to be back. We're going to monitor this. This is the Associated Press out on the streets with this large group of people. It's in the hundreds. Buildings are boarded up. What's going to happen here?
A bunch of little are crying like a little bitch.
So it looks like they came from that area. area here. So we're going to see what's happening here. Lots of damage done to vehicles, F-ice, a lot of spray painting, a lot of, it looks like a lot of things have been defaced, like F-ice, all ACAB, graffiti all over the place. But this is a large group out here with no police in sight.
Bunch of Karens and litters, yes, I see. They need to bump my attention. They've been bending when they're little kids. Yeah, there's Danielle here. You guys could hit the like button too.
We're holding. Please keep moving. We have to keep
It should be
moving.
equal west.
Come towards us. Towards 26, please keep moving towards that way. Thank you so much. We have to keep each other safe. Who keeps us safe? 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 Who keeps us safe?
Deport, deport, deport. Deport these fucking litters.
Ice out, all right? Fuck ice! Ice out! 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 Fuck ice!
Fucking litters.
Fuck ice! Ice out! Fuck ice! Ice out! Fuck
A lot of fucking litters and Karens in that place.
fuck ice! Ice out! Fuck ice! Ice out!
The bitches getting cold, they're familiar.
Ice out! Fuck ice! Ice out! Fuck ice! Ice out! Chica la vida! 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 We are standing on sacred ground, y'all. I just want us to take a moment to remember Alex. We're going to say his name, okay? Say his name! 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 We have lost too many of our own, and we will not sacrifice themselves for this movement will be remembered. Let's remember Renee Good. Say her name. Say her name. Say her name.
Say litterd!
Say her name.
Say
Say
litterd!
her name. Say her name.
Litterd!
Say her name.
Litterd!
Say her name.
Say litterd! Say her name, litterd!
Say her name.
Litterd!
Say her name.
Karen! Litterd and Karen!
Say her name.
She asked AO and she found out!
We also are going to remember Keith
She
Porter.
did, she learned the hard way.
Say his name. Say his name. Keith Porter. Say his name.
Litterd!
Say his name. Keith Porter. Say his name. Keith Porter. Say his name.
Who's Keith Porter? Who's Keith Porter? All right, so this was a large group that marched to this area. We'll see what happens here. I've been seeing a lot of damage in the area. We'll continue to watch where this goes. Businesses are boarding up, folks. National Guard has been deployed, the Minnesota National Guard, to this area here. We'll see where this goes. Does Minnesota burn tonight?
Twice. We will not put up with us. Say it once. Say it twice. We will not put up including one man who was detained in Minneapolis to Texas, where he died because of their neglect and abuse.
A little louder, Karen.
Everyone say, Victor Manuel Diaz! We will remember Victor Manuel Diaz! Louder! Victor Manuel Diaz! Victor Manuel Diaz! Thank you so much, everybody! The people united will never be defeated! 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 All right, again, if we can have people move further into this spot, road or further, so that we can let the rest of the march get in here. We are so close to being there. Thank you so much, everybody. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
Hey, Littards back there, you watching? You should go talk to your little tards out there. Tell her, go tell a little bitch girl here to calm down. Get a life. She has it really terrible, man. I'll tell her to do.
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. 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 They build the wall, we tear it down. 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 They build the wall, we tear it down.
You guys here, sit down.
Motherfucking wall. Tear that motherfucker down. We tear that motherfucker down. We tear that motherfucker down.
Tear down the wall, they're cheering. Tear down the wall. So just kind of listen to the talks here, the chants here. This is a large crowd marching through the streets of Minneapolis with no police in sight after a Border Patrol shooting earlier today.
You need to help her out, man. Talk. She's so fucking stupid. Fucking Littard. Say you're Littard. Man, you guys love your government control there, man. You like being dictators. celebrate. That sounds really stupid, whatever. They're like government control, I think it's right here.
Not only that, but we're actually out here in the street. We will let you know where we will be. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Somehow, when we have the biggest Mayday March ever to celebrate because what we want, take care of each other like I know you do. I love you,
Oh man, what's going on? Commercial?
Look at this. Continue to arrive on site. That's what's going on, folks. They're boarding up businesses. They're continuing to board up businesses. Hopefully the feed comes back here in a second. They have taken the streets. They're around 26th Street. We'll go over here at BG on the scene. If this one doesn't come back here, it should be coming back here shortly. I don't know what happened to it. Man, this is crazy. Crazy stuff. People are out there, folks. Where does this go? Where does the situation go? Does it go calm down, or does it go more crazy? Where does this go? Where does all this go?
Hello there, Party Bongo. How you doing? We're at a beat there? You gotta get up, you gotta get ready again. That was the lizard part of bundle. Hey there, Gary. How you doing? Like this whole protest thing is not going to stop, man. They're not going to stop. Hello there. How you doing? Here, Bill. Here. I think it's just a never-ending stuff until they get their way. I think it's time to bring the kid in there.
Show you different beats and different perspectives here. That was BG on the scene. I want to show you different perspectives here, but the crowd is still out there. It looks like he's dipping away, so I'm going to go here.
We're trying to figure this thing out. This isn't sustainable. What's happening right now? You have more and more people coming out, more and more people getting angry, getting very passionate about ICE conducting an operation here and wanting them out of our city. And then, of course, you have the administration pushing back, talking about their agents' lives being in danger because of some of these protesters. And we have seen things thrown at agents. I saw it with my own eyes, frozen water bottles, some other things. I know the police chief came out today and he said when his team responded today, they had things thrown at them and had to get out of there. It wasn't safe for them. So everyone asking for the protesters to be peaceful, rally, exercise your rights, but just simply do it peacefully without throwing things at people that could be potentially dangerous.
And from what we have seen the last few hours, it has been peaceful. This is exactly what we have been saying.
So the media here is saying peaceful. This is peaceful. This is peaceful. That's what the media is saying. So we'll continue to watch and what's going on and see. I thought the crowd was going to end up going down, but they went from that one spot. Pronounce that if you know it, and then marched back to this location here where this is like some sort of no car zone here that's going on in Minneapolis. It's just wild, man. I don't know, where this goes. I don't know if it's going to escalate tonight.
The area where the shooting occurred at 26th and Nicollet.
That's where we're at.
You're just tired. You just want to voice your concerns and then go home safely. And I think that's what the sentiment is on both sides at this point.
Now, we did see some of those people kind of moving away. We presume that was the perimeter being set up, but that seems to have stopped for now. And everybody's just still kind of standing around the area where the shooting occurred at 26th and Nicollet. So it's you're just tired. You just want to voice your concerns and then go home safely. And I think that's what the sentiment is on both sides at this point. Now, we did see some of those people kind of moving away. We presume that was the perimeter being set up, but that seems to have stopped for now. And everybody's just still kind of standing around the area where the shooting occurred at 26th and Nicollet. So it's
you're just tired. You just want to voice your concerns.
For some reason, their thing is skipping. Hold on. For some reason, their thing is skipping. Let me go back to this feed here. I don't know if they kept skipping or what. BG on the scene kind of dipping out of there or maybe going to another spot here. Let's see.
Yeah, it's really bad. This stuff was getting him, man. These people gotta wake up and realize what's going on. The government don't care about them. And what she did it. She did herself, and the officer has the right to shoot her. Bad line. There's a deal these days, and I don't agree with it, but it is. The officer has the right to defend himself. His life is in danger. And she put everybody else in danger, too. What's going on there?
Dude, he boarded up and they're putting plexiglass. Look at this. Look at this, folks. They're actually putting stuff on their windows here. Other businesses have been boarding up. Yeah, look at that. Why are businesses doing this? Why are businesses doing that, right? Well, they probably know around the corner that this could get very ugly very quickly here.
Yeah.
And numerous clips are out of these businesses boarding up in that general area. Boarding up for what? If it's all peaceful, why would you want to board up? Why would you board up if it's peaceful? They say it's mostly peaceful. Why would you board up? Seriously. Let's see what else we got here. Continuing to look here. Be crazy. Pretty
Yeah,
crazy.
it's bad. It's terrible.
This is the only.
It's time to bring it in.
This is BG on the
Bring the
scene.
military in, bring the cannon.
Had a
fucking straight up fast.
AP feed, but their AP feed went away. I think that their equipment froze up. Froze up.
Almost are even dumping the dumpster too. Look like, man. Okay, well that's that was an officer. Ain't doing a damn thing. You got it, Carrie? Man, you could get a job working out there doing that kind of stuff. You could save my street.
Helicopter.
I'm telling you, man, you got a job there, man. You can go out there. They'll like you to save my street. Don't say anything about D4, man. Then they'll dislike you. You always say my street, my ice. My street, ice for ice, or like that. I know there's only another shitty. I'm trying to. Okay, what other shit was involved now? You said no. Come on, Gary. You can do it. And then you can learn
more
the
vandalism. More vandalism.
Yep. You can start learning the drum too, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's go. Me too, man. Might be free later.
So this is the live scene here in the 26th Street and Nicolette. 26th, 27th, and Nicolette. So there has been vandalism on a lot of the buildings. Some other buildings are boarding up. I don't know where they're marching here next,
Well,
or where they're going to go, or what the plan here is. This is going to be an all-night thing going on in Minneapolis. I wanted to see something else. I wanted to get some footage here of the National Guard, because the National Guard is in that area, but way National Guard presence there in that area. But where does this go? That's where my mind's going. Like, does this die out tonight, or is this
I know where it goes. We get the cannon out. We start spraying them.
The plans here.
Remember,
the temperature is low freezing right now. It is freezing cold out there.
Yep.
For sure. Playing the repeats of all the press conferences and everything like that. Wild. But there's some TikTokers out there too. But where's the mainstream media? The mainstream media is like went to sleep or something, because there's no more media out there that's actually like reporting on what's going on out. No more media out there. It's just like streamers. It's pretty crazy out there. Read. Ice out. That's what they're screaming. Ice out. Ice out. That's what they're screaming. Ice out.
There's a lot of media that want to be there. They don't want to deal with their assholes all day.
Where's this National Guard footage? I'm trying to show you.
They should be there. Where are they at?
National Guard in Minneapolis. They're in that area right now.
Main area, they actually got down there.
And what's their duties here? Just to protect these people? Protect? What are they doing here? I'll show it to you here. Give me a second. I'm just trying to show you what's going on. Hold on. Here you go. National Guard. There they are.
What are they doing? Trying to hold their hands up?
So National Guard is out there, folks. They're out there. National Guard, but that's that's
what are they doing?
Walls is state National Guard. They're not federalized. They're out there they said earlier to help the Hennepin County sheriffs, but they're out there doing other things too, because their peers they're downtown there. The National Guard. So that's something that's very, very interesting. Let me see here. Let's see if I can get some footage that's up close here. Show you what's going on.
Oh, and just like there's nothing. Oh, good. The National Guard should, if they're there, they should be doing something.
Funding this week. We opposed it this summer when our Republican colleagues.
Now look at this. Something's going on in Los Angeles right now. It appears Los Angeles. So I'm going to be trying to pay attention here to what's going on in Los Angeles.
7 days, and these are the results.
We're going to try to see what's going on.
For a full and transparent.
Let me get this feed off here and go back, but I'm going to be monitoring what's going on in Los Angeles. because it looks like an anti-ICE protest broke out in Los Angeles. So I'm going to try to find out.
I wonder how long this one is. I think we're gonna skip this. Go to the next video because this thing's been long. I'm not gonna sit here and watch ICE this bullshit there on their little tangents with you. We're shit the Friday here. I ain't babysitting in late tired all night. I got babysit here in my chat.
That's the sound of an American oil company hard at work. Want to be a part of it?
This is protest.
Mostly peaceful.
This is peaceful.
Renee, good!
Take a look at these numbers. In 2023, Omar disclosed a maximum of $50,000 in assets at the winery. The next year, Dana, that number increased to $5 million. Meanwhile, her husband's company, Rose Lake Capital, reported a maximum of $1,000 in assets in 2023. The next year, it was $25 million. Despite that, Omar denied being a millionaire earlier this year, posting on X, quote, "I barely have thousands, let alone millions." House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer tells Fox News an investigation is underway, writing, quote, "The committee is working on addressing ethics concerns regarding Representative Omar and her spouse, and we hope to have an update soon."
Welcome to Doug in Exile. We're covering Ilhan Omar, the outrage, on her, this time on her amazing evaluations, financial evaluations, how she has generated a 10,000% return in 1 year. Guys, this is widespread. And believe it or not, it's not illegal. But these are not unusual returns for people like Ilhan Omar, or, lo and behold, anyone in D.C. This affects Republicans and Democrats. But this isn't the only year this has happened. It happens every single year. Which my guest, Ross Gibbons, who's coming up, it gets really uncomfortable for Congress because it starts to expose everything they're doing. Joining me today is my good friend, Ross Gibbons. You look like you're inside the mainframe computer from Tron.
Yeah. Well, it feels like it sometimes, but I spend in front of these screens, but, it tends to be worth it. And you covered, yes, Congress beat Wall Street once again. It's astonishing the number of great stock pickers we have in Congress. Really just phenomenal. But one piece of good news before we go too far down the rabbit hole here is, guys, this is all public information. All right. As much as we hate it, as immoral as it is, we can see the stocks they're buying. And so we can piggyback along. And I always say this, well, I don't like it any more than you do, but it's a little easier to stomach when you made 30 grand right alongside them. So I'm going to show you how to do all that, how to see what they're buying, how to piggyback along. But yeah, this year was pretty much the same as we see every year before that. If you pull up, I brought an image. If you pull that up, this shows the 2025 stock or performance of top members of Congress in 2025. And so, they didn't beat the market by a little bit. It's not market in 16, they did 17. I mean, you got guys doing 70, 78, 67, huge numbers. On average, the average congressman had a 33% gain last year. And, the stock market long-term average, 10%, maybe 9%?
Yeah, that's what my uncle told me that 20 years ago when we started investing my money. He goes, Doug, just put your money in the stock market. You'll average 10 to 11% going all the way back to the Great Depression. So that's the rule. Is you hit 11% and they're hitting
30.5. That's a great year for stocks. Congress doubled that. And it's ironic because, these professional fund managers, guys running billions, up with the index.
Yeah.
And you got congressmen placing trades from their cell phone doing double that.
There has to be some benefit, something that they're getting that Wall Street's not getting.
But this is what they do, right? Members of Congress do not leave D.C. poorer than when they arrived, and they may do shady stuff like this. The easiest thing where we can follow along is their stock trades. Clearly, they're beating the market. They beat the market this year. They beat it last year. They beat it the year before. They continuously do this stuff. So we can see their trades. We can use their advantage to our own benefit. And so I hold these training sessions. You know, I do these about every couple of months. We have one coming up this Wednesday.
There's a link in the description. You're going to click it. You're just going to scroll down to here. Look at this button. It says register now. You're going to click that button, and they'll be able to get, Ross will be able to get your cell phone number and an email or something, some contact where when we go on the air for the webinar this coming Wednesday, they'll get a notice.
That's right. Yeah, we'll send you just put your email in. We'll send you the link to join. I think you mentioned there's a text spot. If you want to put your cell phone number in there, we'll text you a reminder 15 minutes before we get started. But these are extremely eye-opening because everyone knows Congress is insider trading. Everyone knows they're using information to their advantage. What people don't realize is we can see the same information. When they buy some obscure little defense company out of nowhere, or Pelosi goes in $1 million in NVIDIA call options, we can see the trade. We can place the same one. We can follow along and make money. We're just piggybacking what is a clear edge. And if you had professional money managers at Goldman Sachs or Fidelity putting up returns like this, you'd want to know what they buy, right? Buffett did 13, 14% last year. Everybody wants to know what Buffett's buying. Meanwhile, you got 38 members of Congress slaughtering his returns.
Sure.
I mean, the top guy there, Warren Davidson, 78% in a year. I'll send you this. Pull this chart. This is Warren Buffett's annual returns of Berkshire Hathaway for the last 30 years. He's never posted 78%. In 30 years, he's the best that's ever done this. So they clearly have an edge. They're using it to make money. My advice, you're not going to change it. They don't come to me to consult for what the law should be on their stock trading. So I'm just going to follow along and make money along.
So is it just Democrat money? Like when we talk about this, and by the way, last time we did this webinar, we ran out of room. So make sure you click that link. We're going to open it back up. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for it being so popular. A lot of you guys said, look, I missed the last one. How do I get back in? But we know about the big names like Nancy Pelosi, Ross, and now we know the new demon child, Ilhan Omar, is caught doing this. But after listening to you, it sounds like it's not just Democrats in Congress, it's both sides. Is it both Democrats and Republicans, our dear old friends, the Republicans?
Yeah, unfortunately, this corruption is equally present on both sides.
Equal
of the
opportunity employer.
Well, I don't always throw Democrats under the bus. I don't like them either, but they're all doing this stuff. And it's junior senators, it's these veteran swamp rats, it's all of them doing it. I mean, if you throw up that next chart I sent you, this breaks down their returns last year by party. So Republicans actually are a little bit better. You know, they average a 35% return versus 31 by the Democrats. But
so we are still smarter even at immoral stock picking. We're still smarter on the grift.
Add insider trading along our strong suits on top of tax policy and immigration. Yes.
And while I don't advocate insider trading, that website is Doug'sInsiders.com. You're my inside people is what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, and when I say insider, right, we hear the term insider trading and you think illegal, and at the extreme it is. But when I'm talking about insiders, this could be people at the company. This could be a congressman who knows something, these companies make big donations to them, let them know. Their Rolodex is a who's who of Wall Street. And, you can even track.
So how do you find out, just real quick, how do you know? How do you find out? How does Nancy Pelosi find out? How does Marjorie Taylor Greene find out? And allegedly we could find out, but how do you find out this information? Is something that explain how we've been able to take advantage of that too. How does it work?
So how do they find this information? How do they know what to buy?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, so picture this. You're in Congress, right? And you're on a couple of military subcommittees. And these subcommittees are in charge of awarding these multi-billion-dollar defense contracts. Now, some of them go to the big guys, right? Lockheed, Boeing, et cetera. But some go to smaller companies. And when that contract is announced, when the federal government says we're awarding this $5 billion contract to make night vision goggles, or whatever it is, this little company, that company's stock price is going to soar because they're about to make hundreds of millions of dollars in profits. Mm-hmm. So you're on this committee. You decided to give that company the contract. You know in advance, before any of this is public. And so what they will do is go in, buy stock in that company on Robinhood or Fidelity or Schwab or wherever. And then as soon as that news becomes public, once it goes out, investors flood into that stock and the thing soars. So they're taking the advantage they have, which in this case is, hey, XYZ company's going to get a big contract. They're buying stock in that company early. And then once it soars, they're rewarded. Now, I've got a perfect example here. Look at this. Pull this up. This is a periodic transaction report. Okay, so this is what they file. And again, all this is free information. You can find it online. They don't make it easy to find, but I'll show you how to get it all. It's all free information. So this is a trade for Representative Susie Lee. Now, Susie Lee, by the way, is an English major. She's not some ex-Wall Street person, okay? And so here we can see what she bought. So she happens to sit on the House Appropriations Committee and the Defense Subcommittee. So these are the groups, again, that decide who gets money and how much. And here's the stock she bought. Look at this thing. The stock she bought, Rheinmetall. Now, this is an off-the-radar German arms manufacturer, okay? So she's buying one stock, first stock she's bought in 3 years, and it's not Google, it's not Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA. It's Rheinmetall. Now,
Rheinmetall.
Instantly, that's kind of an odd pick, right?
Yeah.
If you pull up that chart, this is what that stock did over the next 10 months. So, 306%, she quadrupled her money in 10 months. And if you had someone who bought 20 stocks a week, they're going to get lucky sometimes. When you have somebody who buys one stock in 3 years, it happens to be a German defense company, she happens to sit on the military subcommittee, it's like, maybe this is something I want to follow along. And so, again, public record, you see, that's an odd stock. Maybe I'll buy a couple of shares, and you can Forex your money right alongside her. But that's the general approach on how it works. And my thesis on why they do this so much, I think 60s, 70s, 80s, they could get paid off with a duffel bag full of cash. And I think we're naive to believe that didn't happen, a lot 50 years ago.
Yeah.
But today there's anti-money laundering laws. There's paper trails of everything. They'll get caught with this. But if you're a big company, you want a favor from and say, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, you may want to buy this stock before this date, and they look right. So you can't prove that. Even if they can, they don't prosecute them for it. So I think that's why we see so much. It's just the modern day way they get paid off.
Right. So what you do, and you're going to show exactly step by step at this webinar, it's free, how you find a CEO or an outlier that's suddenly making those kinds of oddball stick out stocks. You've got AI and you've used your computer and you use your own expertise to find those big chunk bulk buys. Sometimes it's the only stock that they've bought, like you said, in 3 years, and you go, that's what I'm going to take a shot on.
Right, that's exactly right. And it's really just common sense. I mean, when I lay this stuff out for people in these free training events, they're like, oh, that's no-brainer obvious, right? So on the political side, it's, hey, here's this little obscure stock. Here's 4 or 5 congressmen who haven't bought anything in 3 years. Now they're all piling into this company that overlays with their committee, right? It's real obvious. We can also see corporate trades. We can see when CEOs and CFOs and board members buy. You get the picks. We put one out. I've got the details here. November the 21st. So this is roughly 2 months ago. The stock was Alumis. And it's this little $7 like biotech company when suddenly all the people at that company start buying. And not 10 or 20 shares, hundreds of thousands of dollars at a time. Big drug trials, knowing they get an FDA approval at any moment, we followed along. The stock's up 279% in 2 months.
So you could help my audience if there's enough slots at this webinar, they can click that link in the description. They can sign up, and you'll send them a little alert. Are you going to give them one stock tip during this seminar? I know you do that sometimes.
Yeah, same as we did last time, right? So everyone who even registers, we're going to automatically send you our most recent pick. So it's going to be our full research report. It's 1,000, 1,500 words. It's written in 3rd grade English. Like, it's not overly, it's not tough to comprehend, right? But it's...
Yeah, I got to tell my audience, guys, I am financially dumb. I have some money to invest, but I'm financially dumb. And Ross is an incredible teacher. Breaks it down so you can understand none of the jargon that goes over your head about all the weird candles and whatever. He draws on the screen and shows you how it all works. So that's what I'm looking for, is someone who can kind of be a normal human being guide to someone. So what I like about you is I don't feel intimidated when I listen to your information. So I'm going to wrap this up real quick. So that's my compliment to you.
Thank you.
Huge thank you. Thank you for helping my audience. And my audience, I know you guys are going to respond already, and we're going to fill this thing up because so many of you missed out last time. So, Ross, thanks.
Absolutely. Look forward to seeing you guys on Wednesday.
Bless you, brother.
Wednesday.
Okay. That we're all going to do this together. We literally just want to help people, normal people like you and me.
Yeah, they should
not
be
the
allowed
big
to.
DC crazy guys, right? They're so rich and corrupt. And we're all going to benefit from this, and it's legal and ethical. So Ross is going to have this free webinar coming up. You're going to click the link. It's this Wednesday, January 28th at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure that you write that down on your calendar, but we'll send you a little beep beep when it's time to sign up if you put your information and you click that button in that link. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to get richer, hopefully, than Ilhan.
Okay, Brian, craziest touchdown now.
Tennessee Titans, Music City Miracle.
Nice and snags it, starts running like he's double parked.
I call it.
And we're very powerful. This country is very powerful. Let me tell you, it's far more powerful than people understand. We have weaponry that nobody has any idea what it is, and it is the most powerful weapons in the world that we have. More powerful than anybody not even close. So nobody's going to do that, but I think that if that's what you're referring to, maybe it's not.
What's up, guys? It's Benny. President Trump talks a lot of mean trash to other world leaders, often threatening to wipe them and their nations from the face of the earth. This isn't just him doing it in this legendary Rush Limbaugh interview where he said to Iran, if you F around, we're going to do things to you that have never been done before.
Like we have it now.
Right.
And Iran knows that, and they've been put on notice. If you fuck around with us, if you do something bad to us, we are going to do things to you that have never been done before.
We're going to do things to you that have never been done before. This is, by the way, I think the first audible use of the F-bomb on live broadcast by presidents, but that's not really the bomb that Trump was talking about there. President Trump kicked off his second term by saying that we have weapons that nobody even understands.
And we're very powerful. This country is very powerful.
Yep.
Let me tell you, it's far more powerful than people understand. We have weaponry that nobody has any idea what it is, and it is the most powerful weapons in the world.
We have weapons that nobody has any idea what it is. They're the most powerful weapons in the world. Trump's own White House says that our technologies permit us to manipulate time and space. Ha 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 ha. Okay, so they can do time travel now. This is from the administration's science director, Krastios, straight out of Central Casting there. President Trump just this week confirming that he did use laser weapons, sonic weapons on Nicolas Maduro and his bodyguards, saying, yeah, we totally use this.
Is that something in Venezuela? There was a weapon used, a sonic weapon, that took out many of the Cuban bodyguards that it's combating.
Yeah, something I don't want to, nobody else knows it, but we have weapons that nobody knows about. And I say it's probably good not to talk about them, but we have some amazing weapons. That was an amazing attack.
We have amazing weapons. That was an amazing attack. And then right on schedule, the Department of War says, yeah, we use dominant, just straight up announcing that we do have directed energy weapons, and yes, we are scaling them. This was a conspiracy theory just a few short years back. I'm old enough to remember when directed energy weapons were just a conspiracy, and you'd be deleted from the internet for even talking about them. Now they're making military recruitment ads using directed energy weapons and deploying them in the field. The discombobulator is what President Trump has now called this weapon. Trump's obviously been deigned to speak about this. He has been a little coy when it comes to talking about it. You heard some of the more notable clips of him just saying, we just got stuff. We got stuff that we'll do stuff to you that has never been done before. We got stuff that you can't even talk about. You have stuff that nobody even understands what it is. These are exact quotes from President Trump. Now Trump is calling it the discombobulator, saying that there was a specific weapon that was critical to the Venezuelan raid on Maduro. Now, what was it? President Trump told the Post that a secret weapon he calls the discombobulator was essential to the daring U.S. raid that captured Venezuela's drug-dealing dictator. Trump boasted that the mysterious weapon made enemy equipment not work when U.S. helicopters swooped into Caracas. Now, let's just remind yourself that Venezuela, while it is a third world nation, it has tons of money. Nicolas Maduro had billions of dollars of military equipment protecting him, some of the best stuff that you can buy from the Chinese and from the Russians, and all of it was shut down in an instant. The discombobulator. I'm not allowed to talk about it, Trump said during an exclusive interview in the Oval Office. I would love to, the president added, before confirming that it is a stealth operation. What? They never got their rockets off. They had Russian and Chinese rockets. They never got one off. We came in, they pressed the buttons, and nothing worked. They were all set for us, says Trump. How horrifying. Trump commented on the weapon when asked about the reports in the weeks that the Biden administration purchased a pulsed energy weapon suspected of being the type that caused Havana syndrome. This would be the reports of Nicolas Maduro's bodyguards that were vomiting blood, shooting blood out of their ears and noses, and were reduced to crippling fetal positions, right? Dropping to their knees and curling up in a ball. This is what this weapon did, according to the people who it was used on. This would make a lot of sense. On-the-ground accounts from Venezuela describing Maduro's gunmen on their knees, bleeding through their nose and vomiting blood. One member of the deposed strongman team of bodyguards recounts afterwards, suddenly all of our radar systems shut down without any explanation. Oh, no. Next thing we saw were drones, lots of drones flying overhead at our position. And then a few helicopters appeared, barely 8, carrying 20 Defender. At one point, they launched something. I don't know how to describe it. It was a very intense sound wave. Suddenly, I felt like my head was exploding from the inside. We all started bleeding from the nose. Some of us were vomiting blood. We fell to the ground, unable to move. We weren't even able to stand up. The sonic weapon or whatever it was. Maduro is locked up in a Brooklyn jail. We had a great relationship with the new president. Trump says she's been terrific. Yeah, I mean, you don't really have a choice here, do you? In a Banner's revelation, Trump says the discombobulator was used. Now, is this the weapon that was used to make the Chinese rockets and Russian radar and everything that they had? I mean, they had billions of dollars worth of equipment. Is this the weapon that was used to shut down the equipment? I doubt it's the same weapon that was used then to reduce Maduro's bodyguards to a crippled mess. I think they're different things. Nonetheless, let's listen to Trump talk about it. Here we go.
It just was the right time to do it. We had to do it because it's a war. We're losing 300,000 people a year. We don't lose that much in a war, okay, if you look. And we had to do it. But he was in a house that was more like a fortress than a house. It had steel doors. It had what they call a safety space, where it's, solid steel all around. He didn't get that space closed. He was trying to get into it, but he got bum rushed so fast that he didn't get into that. We were prepared. We had, massive blowtorches and everything else that you need to get through that steel, but we didn't need it. He didn't make it to that area of the house.
President Trump said he got bum rushed so fast that he never even made it. They pressed buttons and nothing worked.
Really? Seriously? People grow up.
Buttons and nothing. The discombobulator is a separate weapon than the sonic weapon that blows out your inner ear, messes with, it sort of like boils your brain from the inside. This is like nothing but fluid inside of your head. And when you hit it with the right sonic wave, the right microwave, right frequency, again, you completely destabilize. You blow out the inner ear and your balance entirely. Then you can blow out your sinuses, right? That's where all the blood comes from. Okay, and if you swallow enough of it, you can vomit it And I think that's what was happening. I think they're separate things. The discombobulator was used in the raid. The discombobulator, I'm not allowed to talk about it. They didn't get their rockets off. They pressed all the buttons and nothing works. On the ground state, the radar systems just all shut down at the same time. The classified tech, Trump's not allowed to talk about it. Oh, man. As Trump put it, the opposition was all set for the fight. They tried to retaliate. Their electronics just didn't work. When you have a weapon called the discombobulator, watch out. Discombobulator, okay. Sure. It claims the device caused enemy systems all to fail, allowing the U.S. troops to arrest Maduro without American casualties. Well. To see some things that we wanted them in 2025, right? It's nice to see some space-age weapons. And it's nice to see the laser weapons. I like seeing it. Good. This is what I was promised in the future. Okay? More of this, all right? More of this, and we'll be fine. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, subscribe.
If I hear of someone whose fashion that I like and I know that they're a person of color, I try to make it a point. But the clothes have to be available. What does our closet look like?
What's up, guys? Benny, I know this comes as a newsflash to you, but Michelle Obama is a narcissistic racist against white people. She says so on stage all the time, and dumb old white liberal ladies clap for her.
And when you talk
When
about
she
us
says
being
stuff
disconnected
like
and
this,
not talking to
listen
each other,
this.
I am not out in the world like a normal person anymore. But when I am, people don't even recognize me. You know why? Because they're on their phones. Nobody is looking at each other. I could walk right past somebody.
People need to look at me because I am famous. I'm famous. Worship me.
Big Mike, you're
Nobody
not
is
famous,
looking
buddy.
at each other. I could walk right past somebody with a hat on, you know, and I'm just a black woman in a cap.
I don't know.
No,
You're not a
I've
woman,
done it.
you're a man.
I don't know about
Here with the people, and folks are not paying attention. I'm
fly commercial.
So
Okay.
Okay. Like, this is Michelle Obama's brother. That's like, yeah, lady, you fly private. You haven't flown commercial in 30 years.
Yeah.
You are the elite of the elites, and all you do is sit around in these little podcast sets looking character and complaining and bitching about having to buy clothes from white people. I kid you not. This is the new clip of Michelle Obama complaining about having to purchase clothes from white people, saying that if she can find clothes made by someone who's not white, she'll definitely
if
buy
I hear of someone whose fashion that I like and I know that they're a person of color, I try to make it a point. But the clothes have to be available. You know, I think we can all do some work to think about that balance in our wardrobes. You know, what does our closet look like, and who's in it?
We don't know.
Who are we supporting in it? Right. You know, and I think if you have the money to buy Chanel, then you have the money to buy everybody.
The top 3 scams people are falling for right now. States on number 3, it's the one nobody expects. Phishing texts. A fake delivery.
Then you have the money to buy everybody.
You have the money to buy Chanel. Of all the money in the world. Yet,
Look at that, man.
you still look like
Friggin'
that.
man.
So maybe it's not the designers. Maybe it's you and your hideous, ugly soul. Good old Ronald Dahl quote. People who are ugly on the inside. So true. What a truism. Imagine Melania Trump saying this and reversing the racist. Imagine the reaction. Melania Trump saying, I'd only buy white designers. It's called racism and has no... Do that exactly. Do you walk into a store and ask, hey, what is the race of the owner? Do you Google the owner's race before you shop? Like, is it a white woman? Can I, if you find out that you're wearing a white woman? White people are the least racist people in the country. Michelle Obama may be one of the most racist public officials I have ever seen. Should we avoid your book? Because, you know, it was, let's see, written by a white lady. Obama, who was put into office and made one of the most powerful people on earth by white ladies. Now imagine if Melania Trump came out and advised people to avoid black-owned brands. Michelle Obama openly admitting that she's racist. Here comes Terrence Williams. Michelle Obama, I need your undivided attention. I visited the White House. You lived in it. Let's stop the victim routine for a second, because black Americans, when you put our lives side by side, your story doesn't add up. You don't normally compare my life to others, but I grew up in foster care, no parents, no stability, no safety net. I started with nothing. You had 2 parents, stable home, every opportunity in the world. Yet somehow you believe this country. And somehow I believe in this country more than you do. You had a multi-million-dollar book deal, $60 million Netflix contract, mansions, $100 million net worth, and you're still oppressed. Yeah. She's oppressed. Michelle Obama, insufferable, complaining about how women forced her to do her hair.
You can have Big Mike around you.
Anything that she's...
You too, DD.
What?
You didn't hear about that Big Mike who's
killed black kids for wearing the wrong clothing. Obama claims to be beautiful because she's black. She's not beautiful. It has nothing to do with your skin color. Michelle Obama struggles as First Lady.
Don't call her Michelle. She's
Big white
Mike.
People judged her hairstyle. Michelle, Megyn Kelly's response to this.
What she's saying is she's bitter because society's standards, in her view, don't allow black women to just walk around with their natural hair. That is bullshit. Black women can walk around with whatever hair they want. Only in Michelle Obama's warped mind do white people not like them unless their hair looks like white hair. And here's the other thing. The nerve of this woman to pretend that black women are the only women who have to spend a bunch of time getting their natural hair to, quote, conform to these alleged society standards. Because virtually every woman I know, every woman spends a ton of time on her hair and wants it to look better than God made it. It's not a black thing. It's a human thing, and it's especially a woman thing. But she's always reducing everything to race.
Always reducing everything to race. Michelle Obama complains that hairstyles are racist.
That means we are spending thousands of hours and lots of money hair, right? And that takes time out of your life. It costs money.
Well, baby, you become back to Big Mike. Get to worry about it more.
That the way our hair now.
Michelle Obama has straightened hair in this video. What does this exactly mean? At how beautiful she's decided to be. Michelle Obama is such a bitter, wicked person. Michelle Obama has lived such a privileged life, entitled Michelle slammed for whining about the food and travel costs in the White House. And now she has a Call Her Daddy interview where she complains about her husband, because of course Big Mike is going to do that. That is precisely what she did in this podcast. I had my poor producers listen to it. This is the famous Call Her Daddy podcast that Kamala Harris went on. And then the podcast host just absolutely threw Kamala Harris into a wood chipper afterwards, saying that her entire campaign was effectively fraud because they spent $100,000 on building a fake set, a garbage set for the review.
I don't know
Got
about
it.
that Big Mike.
Yeah.
I think he'd help.
It's a random house. My studio in LA doesn't cost 6 figures. How does a cardboard wall cost that much? Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, back in the studio in LA, of course, there's a not a lefty podcast with that Michelle Obama won't go on to complain about Barack Obama, the man made the man.
Give me her.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The more Michelle Obama talks, the
Big
sadder
Mike,
I feel
man.
for
Big
Barack
Mike is her name.
Obama.
I landed
Michelle,
there.
Big Mike.
But it was always interesting, and people would be like, well, how do you know what to do in this role? And to me, it was clear that, oh my God, you don't know anything about what I did before I came here. Like, you don't, like, you know, and you don't want to, I was like, well, I went to Princeton and Harvard. I mean, I practiced law. I was an assistant to the mayor in Chicago. I ran a nonprofit, a 501c3. I built a board.
Doing this.
I was a vice president for community relations at the University of Chicago hospitals. I was a dean of students. I was like,
That's
oh,
right.
you guys, all of that just disappeared in the course of this whole election, and you now see me as just Barack Obama's wife. So that made me say,
You mean Big Mike?
That quickly.
You both your flag stuff.
My shoes become the most important thing about me, right? And again, not unique to me. It can happen to the best of us. So I shied away from fashion leading the conversation, but I knew I didn't completely control it. So let's lean in. Let's lean in with what we do. Let's make sure that we have a plan and a strategy in place for how fashion, just like everything we did in the White House, would have meaning.
In the book, you're talking about the behind the scenes of the designers you were choosing and people that you were choosing to work with was so meticulous on your end, but speaking about it, you can now speak about it. Yeah. But at the time, I understand it's like, I cannot be reduced to the dress and to the shoe and to the hair and the whole thing. I want people to hear what I'm actually saying.
Let this be a reminder to all of you men, don't marry liberal women. Feminism is a cancer, and this is exactly how you get the destruction of society.
That's right.
Ingratitude. Ingratitude is just one of the ugliest traits on earth. And Michelle,
Today, Minneapolis is on fire again. Another deadly clash with federal immigration agents, the second in just 3 weeks. And Democrat leaders are racing to weaponize it against Trump. A 37-year-old ICU nurse ended up dead after allegedly approaching agents with a fully loaded gun and fighting them over it instead of calming things down. Governor Tim Walz, Mayor Fry, and their friends are pouring gasoline on the flames. The federal government demanding ICE be defunded and kicked out, all while billions in Minnesota fraud and money laundering are being exposed in the background. This isn't just chaos, it's a cover-up. And I'm going to show you how they're using tragedy, rage, race, and even violence against Border Patrol to distract you from their own fraudulent mess. Yep. Thank you guys so much for liking and sharing these videos. I really appreciate it. I'm just a small news station competing against the mainstream media to bring you the truth. Now, earlier today, sadly, Minnesota saw its second deadly clash with federal immigration agents in just 3 weeks. During an enforcement operation, agents moved in to arrest 37-year-old ICU nurse Alex Preddy. And according to officials, he approached them with a loaded handgun, and then a fight broke out. Agents say he violently resisted as they tried to disarm him, and one officer fired shots, and they're saying now that this was a defensive posture because of the gun he was pointing at them. Now, Preddy has died on the scene before medical aid could get there. From the videos that we're seeing, it does look like there was a fight. One ICE agent was able to get the gun out of his hands, and then sadly, his life was taken. Now, all of this is happening on the heels of the January 5th killing of Renee Good during another ICE raid in Minnesota, which already had protesters and Democrat occupation with Trump's Nazi soldiers. Now, there are dueling narratives. Some say that Preddy was a local U.S. citizen. Others claim he was an undocumented Venezuelan with a record and an extra magazine, including his handgun. Videos online appear to show agents getting control of the gun. Then Preddy reaches for it again before shots are fired, which is only adding fuel to the fire. The left is demanding an investigation. DHS is saying the shooting was justified and in defense. And Minneapolis officials are stepping back while the streets get angrier and the debates over immigration enforcement explode. At one point, the governor and one of his top advisors said they had to get police out of the area because it had become too dangerous. Now, Governor Walz and the mayor continue to spin these tragedies to make angry citizens. And they say that it is justified in pushing back, which is a signal to hurt ICE agents. Again, I admit this is a tragedy, but I see what they are really doing, which is allowing Minnesota's grief to cover their cover-up of the stealing of billions of dollars.
Yep.
Democrats are now openly threatening to shut down the federal government unless ICE agents pull out of Minnesota. And some are even calling to defund ICE completely. Criminals, they are only surging in order to harass citizens. They say ICE is the problem. The chaos is ICE's fault, and the media is happy to run this narrative on behalf of Democrats. But this sudden outrage isn't organic. It's a smokescreen. As authorities and reporters uncover massive fraud in Minnesota, from fake daycares to bogus medical to fraud in the Medicaid system, Democrats need a villain bigger than themselves. And there's no one bigger than Donald Trump and his ICE agents. Now, Governor Walz is saying he'll refuse to help the National Guard or ICE, that the police are being told to ignore calls, and that he will sue the federal government and make Donald Trump and Washington pay for Minnesota's use of the National Guard, blaming the chaos 100% on ICE instead of on themselves for encouraging citizens to fight them. This is a self-licking ice cream cone. The governor and the mayor use inflammatory language that emboldens people to block, confront, or attack ICE. They then have to call in the National Guard to protect the people that they told to go fight ICE. Nothing is good about this situation, and they may need to use the Insurrection Act to have the military come in. Now, of course, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker is now begging Democrats and Republican governors to band together after Border Patrol shot this man. He's turning this into a national political moment, not a law and order moment. Pritzker, Hochul, Walz, and Mayor Frye. This was Donald Trump's fault, that Trump is using his shock troops to do reckless operations, that ICE smeared agents as untrained, as anti-American. Frye claimed the operation is making Minnesota less safe, not more safe. So these governors are trying to weaponize the anger of people against President Trump and against ICE agents who are there specifically to take out bad guys. They only go after citizens when the citizens get in their way. Now, Border Chief Bovino had this to say about the situation. Let me go ahead and show you that.
We will not allow violence against our law enforcement officers, and we need state and local help, state and local law enforcement, to help us coordinate to get violent criminals off the streets. Mayor Frye and Chief O'Hare just a few minutes ago did the opposite of that by omitting the fact that the suspect had a gun and magazines full of ammunition. In what looks like a situation, again, where an individual wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement.
Here's how often you should take oil of oregano. And if you don't believe me, I'm a pancreatic cancer.
Maximum damage and massacre law enforcement.
All right, so you see what they're doing? Saying that the ICE agents are not there to do good, that they are actually the bad guys, that they are actually the villains, when in fact, every ICE operation is to go and pick up certain people. They already know who they are. But here's the other side that they don't want to talk about. DHS and Border Patrol say the man approached agents with a loaded handgun, fought them. When they tried to take it away, they had to fire in self-defense. Trump is backing the ICE agents, saying they had to protect themselves when local leaders won't let the police do their job, when local leaders are inciting violence against federal agents. This isn't just outrage. This is a political blame game designed to protect their narrative and shift all the anger from the fraud over onto ICE agents. Now, I'm not going to show you this photo or video, but things got so bad earlier today that a woman actually bit the finger of a Border Patrol agent off.
Really?
It was bloody and disgusting, and things are bad. Now, here's where I am disappointed. As things are spinning out of control, AG Pam Bondi went on Fox News, not to say that people are being arrested or that we are going to have a solution, but to say that she sent a strongly worded letter to Governor Walz. Really?
Rape, homicide, manslaughter. That's who they're trying to protect in Minnesota. I do not understand these people. We sent Governor Walz a very strong letter today. We had been working on this letter. We got it out saying that he better support President Trump. He better support the men and women in law enforcement, because he doesn't, we are. And that's what we're doing right now.
Were there any consequences in this letter?
Well, we'll see. This is fluid. Let's see how Governor Walz responds. Let's see what he does based on this, based on what's happening right now. But this administration is going to support the citizens. We're going to support our great men and women in law enforcement.
All right. To me, that is like really troubling. Like, I know that we need to bring down the temperature. I don't know that a lot of people in Minnesota understand that when ICE comes in, it's for a specific criminal. It's not just to go after anybody.
Yeah, that's right.
But Governor Tim Walz, he is now using the National Guard against ICE. He's telling the police to stand down. So he is the biggest problem. And Mayor Fry is right next in line. But I don't know. It really bothers me. Like, they need to go up there. They need to communicate. They need to shut this thing down. Instead, we're getting strongly worded letters. I don't know. That's disappointing. All right, let me throw a curveball at you. David Hoke, the man who helped Nick Shirley expose the Somali fraud, said today that as he looks into it, the more and more guiltier people look. However, as he's continued to unearth new documentation, he said he's starting to think that maybe Democrat leaders have been using the Somalis to money launder back into elections in order to stay in power. So he's not forgiving the Somalis for what they did, but he's pointing out that, hey, maybe these guys were being used.
Minnesota, he's from Detroit. Jacob Fry's not from Minnesota, he's from Virginia. The police chief of Minneapolis is not from Minnesota. He's from New Jersey. His wife's a Muslim cop in New Jersey. The mayor of St. Paul is not from Minnesota. And so it plays into this whole contention that I've made that this fraud framework was set up by the Democrats. And what I believe they tried to do is, when the Hmong population was brought into Minnesota in the late 70s and early 80s, there was a huge influx of the Hmong. And I think the Democrats thought the Hmong were going to fit the playbook for committing all this fraud. And they didn't. The Hmong said they were honorable people. They're not going to be involved in this. And so they had to find another group. And so they got the Somalis, and they fit right into this framework of fraud. And then they just ran with it.
So, David.
So kind of a different perspective. I was not expecting him to say that. And again, he's not saying that they are blameless. But as he digs in, he's saying, wait a minute. It kind of looks like they used a vulnerable population in order to money launder federal dollars in order to stay in power. Mm-hmm. And you know what? That wouldn't shock me at all based on everything that I've seen. Dr. Oz, one of President Trump's top advisors, says red states are being taxed, and then their money is being recycled into blue states and sanctuary cities in order to provide freebies to illegals who will then vote for Democrats. They are abusing all American citizens in order to keep the grift going in these sanctuary cities. And he says California, under Gavin Newsom's leadership, is the worst. And that at a speech in Davos, he admitted to being proud of using taxpayer money to give free health care to illegals, something that Democrats have vehemently denied, saying that that was a Republican lie. Listen to what Dr. Oz had to say.
Let's talk about illegal immigrants. So
Gavin Newsom was giving us a hard time for threatening the health insurance of illegal immigrants. Just to be very transparent, if you're on Medicare, you don't get free dental, you don't get free vision. You do if you're an illegal immigrant in California.
This is the infuriating.
So anyway, so you got taxpayers in New Mexico, right, which is a blue state but a poor state, paying extra tax dollars to the federal government that are recycled back into LA to deal with the fraud that I'm talking about. So illegal immigrants, he's mad. We're horrible people. We're Republicans. You have no conscience. You have no heart. As soon as we made it clear we were no longer going to pay for illegal immigrants in California, what did he do? He took them off Med-Cal. Now, he didn't take them off on the federal side. So in theory, only emergency services are going to get paid for reasonable. Now, we want babies delivered, car accident victims, of course get health care, but not elective hernia surgery, cataracts. You know, you have to be an American citizen who paid into the system to get these. So anyway, so we deal with this. Gavin says we're only going to pay for illegal immigrants through our own state-based system. We've audited him now. This data's coming out this week. We have now found over $1.5 billion of money spent wrongly. We've audited it. They're not even arguing. $1.5 billion from that California charged the federal government for illegal immigrants that they're not allowed to pay charges for. They have to pay for it themselves. He's not happy, but they're paying us because they know we're right. So you're going to see something happen very interesting in California. As soon as the money is being paid by California government officials, they're going to start getting more serious about this. And that's why it's so important for us to say, we're not into this anymore. I'm not going to let taxpayers in Alabama and Mississippi, New Mexico, you know, our poorest states, pay for the fourth largest economy in the world.
All right. That's a great idea. I think that makes so much common sense. If you cut off the federal money from the other 49 states and California has to pay for their own illegals, they're going to cut them off immediately and the problem will resolve itself. You guys, I've been saying this. Cut off the money to the blue states and use kinetic energy in the red states that overwhelmingly voted for Donald J. Trump. All right, if you found value in this video, please give it a like. Hit that subscribe button. We're almost to 2.1 million amazing truth seekers. Have a great weekend. Stay amazing. And I will see you on the next video.
Never too young or never too old to start investing in real estate. And guess what he did?
Tonight, while a massive winter storm slams 200 million Americans, something even colder is hitting the Democrat Party: reality. In Maine, crowds are shouting "No justice, no peace," trying to block ICE agents from rounding up criminal illegals. And just like the BLM rioters, the media is pretending they're the victim. But here's the twist. New reports show Latinos and Hispanic voters are breaking hard for President Trump. The very voters Democrats thought they owned are walking away from the party, and they are panicking. Let me show you all of this and much more. Thank you guys so much for liking and sharing this video. Let's jump right in. Despite a horribly cold winter storm preparing to bear down on 200 million Americans, tonight, citizens in Maine are protesting ICE coming to town to pick up a list of criminal illegals known for or already arrested for heinous crimes. Yet despite the cold, large numbers of people are showing up. The mainstream media is focusing on the ICE agents and the protests. And I'm going to show you what's going on right now, and then I'll tell you exactly why I think they're really doing this, and I believe you're going to agree with me.
No peace, get ICE off our streets. No justice, no peace, get ICE off our streets. No justice, no peace, get ICE off our streets.
So the weather is chilly, very chilly. Maine is preparing for a massive winter storm, and yet people are out protesting ICE agents. Why is this happening? I'll tell you exactly why it's happening. But first, no justice, no peace, get ICE off our streets. This sounds a lot like the call to defund the police during the 2020 Black Lives Matter Summer of Love, which turned horribly violent and fiery and did nothing for Black communities and caused horrible damage. Remember, they were chanting, "No justice, no peace. F them all up. Defund the police." Except they didn't say F them all up. They used the real world word, but this is really going on here. Authorities, independent journalists, and right-leaning media are beginning to find massive amounts of fraud in the state of Maine. Somali fraud, illegal immigrants, Medicaid fraud, fake daycares, fake medical groups, fake transportation companies. So what do? They shift the blame, the focus, and the heat onto ICE agents, saying that this is Trump's Gestapo, the Nazi police coming to make sure that Americans are disappeared. Could be nothing further from the truth. These idiots have no idea that they're there to pick up the worst of the worst. Now, if this wasn't bad enough, Democrats just got the news that they've been dreading. It's terrible news. Now, it makes me happy, but it's terrible for them. So while the whole world is learning about the massive cover-up of fraud from the Democrat Party, the NGOs to destroy America, the slush funds and the money laundering, a new report out shows that as we head into the midterm elections, that President Trump is still surging with Hispanics and Latinos. Breaking news, Hispanics have shifted 23 points red for 2026 midterms versus 4 years ago, according to Emerson polling. In 2018, 30 points for Democrats. By 2018, 28. By January, +5. So this is a massive shift in Hispanic and Latino families shifting towards the Trump administration. Where Democrats went wrong is they thought that Mexicans and Venezuelans and Nicaraguans and El Salvadorians would all want to be flooded when they got here to the United States legally. But that is the furthest thing from the truth. Streets. They want a bold, powerful leader, and then that's exactly what they're getting in Donald J. Trump. So the Democrats are freaking out because their money is drying up. All of their fraud is being exposed. The cover-up of fraud is being exposed. The money laundering, the Medicaid fraud, all of it. And I'll show you something here in a minute that's absolutely going to blow your mind. But Hispanic and Latinos are overwhelmingly going into 2026 midterm elections ready to vote for whoever Donald J. Trump says to. Now, one guy was so mad at Trump and his neighbor for having a Trump flag that he flipped off the neighbor who happened to be filming something else. And let's just say it did not go well for him. Let me show you this, and you guys let me know what you think.
My TikTok brain rot nephew ordered this weird-looking plasma lighter, and what happened next was an absolute embarrassment. I'm a wilderness survival veteran, and the last thing I'd ever use is an electric lighter. They're complete trash for outdoor use. So when my nephew handed me this weird-looking plasma lighter in front of all my Vietnam War vet buddies and told me to try it in the rain, I was convinced he was about to look like a complete idiot. Well, it actually worked perfectly, and without using a damn drop of fuel. This thing is called Blazara, and it's built on technology I didn't even know existed. It doesn't burn butane, propane, or any fuel whatsoever. Instead, it generates dual plasma arcs at 1,800 degrees.
Show you this, and you guys let me know what you think.
He lost his tire.
This guy is so angry at Trump that while flipping off his neighbor, he wasn't paying attention, slammed into a car, a tree, lost a wheel, and then slammed into a fence. Let's watch that one more time.
Bye-bye, God.
start and boom.
Them.
Oh,
Oh, you know. Fucking dummy.
Ooh. I got to tell you, as somebody who used to do property and casualty, auto insurance, and homeowners insurance, I can tell you right now, that is not going to be a claim that is easily covered. And what caused the accident? Oh, I was flipping off somebody because they had a flag of Donald J. Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gosh, let me know. This is one of the most banana stories. Just when we thought all of the fraud in Minnesota had been exposed, sunlight cast into the darkest corners of fraud, fake daycares, fake Medicaid, fake everything, Dr. Oz flew to Minnesota to expose one of the biggest frauds yet. Let me show that to you and the audience, and you guys let me know what you think about this.
Behind me is the Griggs Midway building. It looked like a factory because it was a factory, a linen factory. They made cloth back there, converted to an office building. You'll notice all those little signs there, and there's tons of little businesses inside. Roughly 400 Medicaid businesses were started in the building behind me over the last several years. They generated about $380 million of billing that you, the taxpayer, were putting up. That means roughly each business had $1 million of billing. It's an industrial area. There's no reason that you have a mother bring her child. You can't imagine getting extra business support. An autistic child probably wouldn't want to come here. You hear the noise. It's just not a hospitable place. The question is, how is it possible 400 businesses billing almost $400 million were able to thrive here? What did the owner of the business, this building, think was happening inside? Why did no one in the state figure out this as a concern? And perplexingly to me, in a place of this nature, an industrial complex that people would not come to for child care or autism care or transportation support, how is it possible this could come up like an abscess in the heart of Minneapolis and nobody was watching? I think it's because they weren't looking. They didn't want to know that this problem was happening here. And it's very concerning to me that only now, when there's more federal supervision, are people beginning to ask tough questions. So you'll notice there's already a watch group that's observing us. They have people in cars taking pictures of us. They're calling around trying to find out what's going down. And I'll tell you, they don't have to, wonder. We're telling you, we're here to figure out why these folks are being defrauded, why the people who live in Minnesota aren't getting access to the care they deserve because it's been stolen. But the fact that you've got people behind me in cars concerned that we're even talking about this story should be something that worries you. It bothers me. There's been a censoring of truth, an inability just to own what's happening in their state. That's concerning to me. They talk about being nice in Minnesota. I want to be nice too, but a person who's a good person doesn't have to always be nice. They got to be truthful and be honest. And sometimes you got to tell people stories they don't want to hear. That's what doctors do, and that's what we're going to do here in Minnesota. Tell you the truth.
All right. So a former textile manufacturing plant is discovered to magically have 400 medical companies inside a giant warehouse. $400 million in fraud. Nobody knew. Or like he said, they just weren't looking. One thing that my mother used to say to me often was, you can't see for looking, right? Like, I would look, but I just couldn't. Isn't that crazy? All right, it's been a long day. I know a lot of you got to get ready for this cold winter storm. I appreciate you guys being in my community, allowing me to be a source of truth and news for you. If you found value in this video, please hit the subscribe button. Give this video a like. Stay amazing and warm, and I will see you on the next video.
Okay, all right, so...
What's up, guys? Benny, you need to pray for Border Patrol, federal...
All right, we have... Look at that wall, man. All right, well, I can say thank you to all the viewers and all the mods that have been here today. We all had a good time today. Well, I'm going to call it early night because I got things I got to do tomorrow, people. I do. There is so much fraud going on these days. Yeah, there's a lot of things going. We got the Letards, we got Karens, we got fake mega supporters out there. We got a lot of them. We're here to call them out. And so, right now, I don't know, we're going to see what's going on, everybody. I mean, one thing is, we are 100% dear funny, you know, that's how we work. There's things that we can go do. But we need money. We don't have money, we can't do it. And if there's somebody out there who pretend to be patriotic and they're not, I'll call you on it. I have no problem with them. Because I don't like that. I don't like fake patriotics. I don't like fake MAGA supporters. So, and there's going to be some out there that are going to try to start rumors and drama, but we're not here to feed the bullshit. We're here to call them out. And they know who they are. So, on that note there, you guys all enjoy your night. It is very windy and cold here. It's totally cold tomorrow, but it is what it is, you know. God is good. I am not going to stop. I'm going to continue fighting for my country. So, you guys all enjoy your night. Stay warm, okay? And maybe what they should do, I think they should do is go to Minnesota and bring the Canada out. I think it's time to, I think it's really time for them to bring the Canada out and start spraying them all with water. Oh, yep. Good night. God bless y'all.